The door to Hoskett's office is usually open, unless he's not there or he's yelling at someone. Well, to be fair, he's usually yelling at someone if he's there. So the door is usually closed. But just now it's open. The man sits at his rustic wooden staghorn-adorned desk, smoothing down his considerable mustache with one hand while the other drums on the desk. He's squinting at the proposed layout for tomorrow's edition of the Old Stag Daily, propped up on a miniature wooden easel on the far side of the desk, and he doesn't look happy with what he sees. After several long seconds of shooting concentrated displeasure at the piece of paper through his eyes, as if he could change its contents through sheer force of will, Hoskett reaches out, grabs the stand the mock-up is sitting in, and throws it against the office wall. The resounding clatter of tumbling wood stops every pen in the small office. Every reporter in the place knows that sound. They hear it almost every day. A couple of the veteran reporters, whose desks are carefully positioned out of line of sight of Hoskett's office, put down their writing implements and cover their ears. The proprietor of the Old Stag Daily pounds on his desk once with a meaty fist, and he shouts the now familiar refrain. "Get me more dirt on the very capable four!" This is Pot Against the Machine.
Pot Against the Machine.
Welcome back to Pot Against the Machine, the only Pathfinder actual play that will turn your children invisible and then just walk away. I'm your host, and here's everybody.
Temporarily invisible. They're not gone.
That's the making of our...
Invisible.
Yeah, that's our BBEG right there.
Look, as a non-parent, I can confidently say what you want is your children invisible but still there.
Well, children should be not seen but heard.
Hello.
Crying out to you from somewhere.
Hello.
Elborn's teaming up with Panchy Blue and Nolak.
Evil Dave.
Oh man.
Can't wait to
If
meet
there was
him.
ever if there was ever a clearer BBEG that you're like, there's no way it's Evil Dave. I mean, that would just be too easy. Like, no, it's totally Evil Dave.
It always has been Evil Dave. Well, last week we started in the middle of the night. Kira had a nice conversation with a candle friend who is totally not a stranger because they know her mom. And it wasn't weird or bad or unsettling or anything. After that, everybody read the newspaper and it wasn't super nice to them. Then they finally set out to investigate the technically spy who was likely inching ever closer to their dastardly goal, at the same time trying to subtly investigate the possible location of Cassandra Lee, Hellion's dear baby sister. The search took them to the home of Amina Bardley, the matriarch of the Bardleys. She revealed that she'd spotted someone across the Badwater the other day and sent her grandson to chase after them since he was the fastest. The intruder was able to escape and apparently disappear entirely once they hit the tree line, but they left something behind, a single finger symbol. A very Varisian instrument. As we closed the last episode, the group was trying to decide their next course of action. Head back into town to gather information on the Varisian travelers camped out in the lumberyard, or go straight there to confront them and kill them all, probably, knowing that at least one of them is likely to be the technically spy.
I mean, that's a great idea. I wasn't thinking about that before, but I mean, I feel like that would just like put a neat bow on everything.
Oh, I agree. I was also going to say, I'd forgotten that she sent the grandson after the potential murderer, so really, whose fault is the invisibility or something like that?
Good point.
Thank you.
So, pardon me because no time has passed, but looking at, say, the feet of their party members for a moment, and then looking at the boot prints, whose feet are the boot prints the closest to in size and shape?
Interesting question.
Clearly, I suspect one of them. That's why I'm asking. No.
Do you have any ranks in profession cobbler?
We're cutting this
Perhaps a knowledge local.
knowledge feat, and then everyone's just like, "Oh yeah, we don't talk about that knowledge." Yeah, we're cutting that out. But anyway, it's fine.
I mean, did you pay extra? I would say that the boot prints don't look all that much like any specific member of the party's boot prints.
Because they look
They're like maybe the closest to like Alowin's of anyone's, but does Alowin even leave boot prints? Nobody knows.
Crocs.
I'm honestly not 100% sure if he has shoes on. I was checking to see if I had magic shoes yet, which I don't. So he's probably barefoot.
Okay, well then they're not like Alowin, so they're probably, they're smaller than Kira's or Asher's. They look like boots, barely.
So probably not a big person, just kind of normal size, not like over 6
like
feet.
a normal sized person.
So, Brixby looks down at the boot prints and says,
Well, it looks like their feet are a bit smaller than yours, big stuff. Yours, Asher. Alwyn, they might be closer to you or me. Well, not me, because I'm wearing cats, but closer to our size of feet. We should take that into account, though. If they can disappear at the tree line, that can likely, magically or technologically, alter their appearance.
Yes, of course, it's difficult to tell from merely the print, but I suspect these boots were made for walking.
"One of these days, I'm just gonna disappear in the tree line." That's not how the song goes.
Is now.
So, the disembodied narrative voice sort of gave us an option to either gather some more information about these Varisians or to, bust in playing good cop, bad cop, weird cop, disc cop, which is also fun.
Well, if we're in a hurry because of, spy things, maybe it would make more sense to go straight there and play good cop, bad cop, weird cop, disc cop. We should come up with some sort of anagram for that. I'll work on it. I think it's done.
I'm still of the mind that while we're all the way down here with the Bardley's permission, it wouldn't hurt to ensure we've done all the reconnaissance that we can here before we return.
Do you mean into the woods, or that there was a hanging, or...
Oh, yes, of course. It was difficult to tell. Though, now that you mention it, I should have felt that ellipses. I would say really around the whole perimeter, where they were first spotted, and shouldn't take us very long, but perhaps there's something that young Elborn might have missed.
I'm down to take a peeky do.
Yeah.
The peeky finders. Let's go see if we find something.
What do
Episode
your
title.
Asher eyes see?
Oof, you're asking the second least perceptive of the group.
Oh, I intend to perceive.
Yeah, so are we doing perception or survival or...
Yeah, that's my better stuff.
I guess my to around the tree line.
Oh, you can do it and I can aid.
Mine's already rolled, unfortunately.
That's what... Yep, JK.
are
I see that now.
identical. They're both -2, so that was a 5.
Ended up with a 22 perception. I feel like we did survival last time. No time has passed, but in some ways it feels like it was millennia ago.
So where exactly are these perception checks
Tree line
focused on? Okay.
with a 26, I should state, for the people that aren't in the roll 20. And I guess if you're in the roll 20 and you're not in the podcast, what are you doing in there? Get out of the roll 20.
Yeah, quit spying on us. But I mean, what do you want to know with that kind of roll? You won't to describe the whole forest. Are you looking for something in particular.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
we're
looking for like
something like
a John
like a
Steinbeck
trail, maybe like
3-page
broken
description.
sticks or yeah. We saw that the tracks just vanished last time. I remember that, but do we see like anything else that looks out of the ordinary? I think is probably what we're all looking for. Like anything broken or anything that seems like it shouldn't be where it is. Like maybe something was used to hide. Something,
Did a
just
piece of
anything.
cloak get caught on a tree branch whilst they were running?
Yeah.
And it's like the tag that says return to, and then has their name.
Is he still there, but just like holding a twig up in front of him, or like just anything?
Well, it looks like the tracks really did just like vanish after that last set of steps. Like there's no like covered tracks after that or anything that you can find. As if the person like disappeared or took off into the air, or it's conceivable that they climbed up into a tree, but you don't see anybody in the trees now. I think since those are some pretty good perception rolls, you maybe see that if you sort of follow the general line you were on and just keep going straight into the woods, about 100 feet further, this tracks start up again, and the person ran north out of the woods. They just didn't leave any tracks for 100 feet.
Like a dimension door, or
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
That's the, I mean, as a spell that Brixby recently learned. It's going to take a look down at that, say.
Possibly transportation magic. I mean, it's a lot of ways to not leave tracks.
He looks down at his disc.
But if we don't,
And north is just like towards the town, right? Because the Badwater is down in the south area.
Yeah, it's sort of going up along the back side of the main hill that sort of dominates the town.
Okay.
So like on the other side of the hill is High Home, but on the side you're on is like the Badwater. And to the south of that is like where the Bardleys live, and then there's like farms to the north of where you are, through the woods.
Farms.
We didn't see these woods coming down, though, right?
You would have
Did
like
we?
come around from the
Okay.
other side, basically.
They snuck up on us.
How is that positioned towards old Wildfoot? Is that his name?
Headache?
Proudfoot? Wildfoot? What's his name? Heddick. What's his...
Headache, Widefoot?
Widefoot?
I think it's Widefoot,
It's
isn't
not
it?
Wildfoot?
I had
Hotfoot?
Wildfoot in my notes.
It's been a while.
Reedfoot?
It's been a while, Foot.
Wildfoot does make more sense than
Fruit
Widefoot.
by the foot. I like Widefoot, but it has changed how I view
It's
this
very
woodcutter.
Hobbit.
Yeah, no, I was
Yeah,
going
I
to
was gonna
say.
say, like, one of them sounds like someone who lives out in the woods and is a woodcutter. The other one sounds like an extra in The Hobbit.
Proudfoot, Widefoot.
Let's see. Headache's Lumberyard. Where is it on my gazetteer? Yeah, Headache Widefoot.
Ooh.
Okay.
Eh.
How intriguing.
The lumberyard is back the way you came. It's actually further south than the Bardleys.
Oh. This is just one of those, like, my character has superhuman intelligence and I do not moments where I'm sure.
I mean, I think at this point, even the characters would make the decision we kind of made, like, let's just go talk to the first. Like, in fact, hang on. I think maybe the best course of action is to just go confront them and see if we can find this person.
Maybe with a gentler word than confront, like, friendly greet.
Could meet with them and conversate.
Can we roll any, like, a knowledge local or something, or anything that could give us a little bit more information? Not like a diplomacy to gather info, but like can we recall anything about, like, the structure of Parisian caravans, or like any, I don't know, customs or ways that we can otherwise be like, we're cool, we're not cops?
I mean, I'm not sure what exactly would be a reasonable thing for you to be able to get out of something like that. Like, you can...
Roll non-narc.
It's basically, I think, just going to be diplomacy when you're talking
Fair.
to them.
That's totally fair.
To make an impression.
Yeah.
That makes
Well, I
sense.
think he was saying, like, to try to remember anything we might know about Parisians before we meet them.
But at the same time, the way that this party rolls, I would totally be fine with us just kind of... This is a
None of us have any idea who they are.
3/4 charisma party in Brixby. Like, we got this. Or diplomacy party, I suppose. So, I mean...
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea. Big stuff. Asher, what do you think? Yeah.
Do you think we should bring them a chicken as is custom? Well, custom in Torch? I'm going to just find a bird just in case.
You know what? That's a fair plan. Perhaps with some good survival rolls, we could hunt down some wild game. Spend hours of time.
I was thinking just a sparrow or something, but I'll keep an eye out for wild game.
So, do we want to put all of our cards on the table when we get there? It's not like a harrowing pun. That's like a legitimate, like, do we want to walk up and be like, there's a murderer in your midst, and it may or may not be Evil Dave?
Or do we want to, like... I don't know why we do that finger thing. Or do we want to, use guile?
And do, like, the sonic boom.
Yes.
I was gonna say, I
Just
prefer to
thinking
use the
the
Honda,
Street
but
Fighter.
Nerds.
Well, it seems like there's a decent chance they'd trust us more in the long run if we were honest, right? I mean, we don't have to put all the cards on the table. We could put 50 of them on the table.
what if, instead of being quite that forthcoming and saying that we believe there's a murderer in their midst, what if we just tell them we believe a member of their caravan is an imposter and leave it at that at first? I think if we lead off with the murderer thing, they may not work with us as well. Like, I think they may be more willing to hear us out about just, hey, one of these people here isn't really a Varisian, rather than, hey, one of you guys is a murderer, like, because that's kind of like, this is actually
No,
maybe
I was
wouldn't have
gonna
been the best
say
thing for him to say, because this is my own knowledge that the Varisians tend to kind of get the short end of the stick when it comes to people thinking that they're criminals when they go around to places.
I would.
So I kind of don't want to lead off with like, hey, one of you killed me.
Well, no, completely agree. And like, I also, I mean, we don't know that they're there. We don't know that if it's like a temporary cover. So like, this is just kind of a meta thing. But it's like, you know, we gotta kind of think about what the, because you know, we do not have definitive evidence that it's someone that's a Varisian. It could be someone that temporarily disguised themselves as a Varisian to be down there. Like, they did say my disguise, but at the same time, you know, it.
Well, that's why I think it might be good to open with, we think there's somebody pretending to be one of you. Like, maybe that'll get them to want to help us more.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down. I'm definitely not the... I'll just stay in the background and try to think, because that seems about right for the 28 character.
I wonder, so we have the expectation that the Technic League spy speaks, or at least can read Androthan. I wonder if we can trick them into revealing themselves to some degree by, I don't know how, but Brixby is way smarter than me, the player behind Asher. But in some way of writing something, and I don't know. I feel like a vanity T-shirt of like, if you can read this, blah blah blah, and then we just sense motive to see which guy,
Yeah,
which
Charlie's
guy's eyes twitch, you know, or whatever.
Yeah,
Or, like,
Charlie's
make
two for
something
two
up
for
about-
Tuesday. That's in Androthan, so like they pick up the coupon and they're it's something that's an offer they can't refuse. I like that idea.
Yeah, or like say like that we mentioned that we found like tech nearby or something that might get one of them to break off and go try to look for it and just watch and see who goes there.
We could even, I mean, maybe I'm overthinking it, but we could even try and just say something in Androthan, just casually intermix it in our conversation. And if they make that like, wait, what did you just say face, then we know it's probably not them. But if they're just like,
Gotcha.
nod, aha, j'accuse.
I think if we do think that the technically spy speaks the language of the stars, I think we should hold on to that. I think we should get in. We should endear ourselves to whatever leadership possible. And I'm going to be honest, I'm still potentially on the fence about going in and saying that one of them may not be what they appear to be. It's pretty common knowledge that Varisians have very few friends in Galarian, just the way that they've been treated. It's unlikely that they're going to just rely on 4 very weird outsiders to potentially div in someone who's there. So I'm just saying, we might want to start with something friendly and explore from there. And then if we get our suspicions, we pull out the Androthan card, maybe say, I know it's you, or something like that, and see if they respond. But I think maybe just going bearing gifts or some goodwill might get us further than bringing potential accusations.
Do you think they have a farmer that is trapped by a corn monster? And we could rescue them? Or, not rescue them, but try and then bring back a souvenir? Like that?
We could bring them the head. We could take it back. But I'm pretty sure we offered that to Ion.
Well, this is a different camp. Maybe they want bad guy heads. At the very least, we should offer. It's polite.
Guess I could always go for the old audition technique. I've been known to be tricked into doing a cultural dance alone. Perhaps this time I could willingly do so as part of an effort to join their traveling gang. Could be fun.
So, let's head south towards the Virgin camp and retcon this whole conversation is happening while we're talking or walking.
Yeah.
Just gonna toss a
All
knowledge
right.
geography that's probably entirely not necessary, but because I like rolling d20s. Yeah, Asher leads us into a not most direct route, but I got a natural 1 out of the way. For a total of a 9.
Defensive rolling. Asher walks into the Badwater and he comes out with 12 arms. But not where you'd think they'd be.
Oh no.
They're all in your butt.
That just sounds like he can hold 10 more guns.
I rolled a 22 for handle animal. Can I find a small bird to give them?
I don't know that you can necessarily capture a small bird, but you can maybe hang out with one
You
briefly.
can handle it real well.
I can handle it.
Yeah.
That's good enough. I'll
It
say I
cheeps
saw a bird and then
adorably
tell
at
them. Got it. Cool. So I'm going to tell those guys that we're cool. All right. Thanks, bird. Great. Solid RP. En route to the camp.
All right.
Last thing before we roll up.
Do we want to potentially pose as buyers for goods, services, a harrow, something they might have? You all are much better at diplomacy, but it doesn't take much sense to know that gold gets someone talking.
What if we actually buy something and then we don't have to lie about it?
That's what I mean. Like, good idea, big stuff. Go in, buy some scarves, some harrow, whatever. But just,
Tchotchke?
yeah, no, I think that we may be overthinking the reason why we're there.
Joni loves tchotchkes. But perhaps we could convince them that hey, we'd want to see what they can do, and we might want to see if they'd come to Torch for Sage's
Torch got talent.
birthday.
They can be the new opening act at the casino.
I like it. We have at least 3
A lot
plans.
of
We'll be fine.
options. All of which will
Yeah,
go
we
well
can.
at the
I
same
think we
time.
should.
Can we knock on a, I don't know, tent flap? Where do they sleep?
Well, if you approach Heddick's property from the road, the first thing you see is sort of like a little stout, maybe like 3-room house like that faces the road, and then behind that there's like huge stacks of like cut wood and untreated lumber and like maybe wood that's drying and stuff, and it's all like carefully arranged. And then there's just a middle-aged human man bustling around through the things, probably like dragging one of those big metal hooks to drag a ridiculously large log along. And yeah, he's wearing really wide boots, so you know who that probably is. But beyond that, in the sort of already cleared part of the lumberyard, you can see a few like covered wagons where the wheels have been removed, so they're sort of converted into like little cabins basically. And there's like a ring of where they have like a fire and stuff, and it's a nice little campsite back there.
What time of day is it right now?
I think by now you're looking at like early afternoon.
So still like daytime. Like we're not
Yeah,
walking up to
it's-
them in the evening or anything. I wasn't sure how
Right.
long between talking to the mother and then the walk out here and all that. So we're not
Yeah, I
like
don't think-
approaching as night falls or anything weird like that.
No, I don't think so. It's super quiet.
Yep. my
Hark
bad.
again.
Hark. Which is, yeah, Kira will just, I don't necessarily, it's not to anyone. I think it's just, it's what you say when you enter a tiny village.
I think Heddick will sort of stop what he's doing, let the log fall on the ground and the big hook thing drop next to it, and say, what could I do for you?
I'm looking for a present for my mom. Do you guys have tchotchkes?
I got logs, mostly. Cut firewood that needs some seasoning if she wants to have a fire, like, next year. Or, not a lot of tchotchkes. Did you get lost, maybe? This is a lumberyard.
Yeah, Kira will point toward the little encampment. Like, are there tchotchkes over there?
He shrugs. Goes, I mean, I guess maybe. They might have tchotchkes. I don't know. Not my business.
Kira nods confidently and then steps back. Like, all right, well, I've done my job.
You must be the proprietor, Master Widefoot, I presume.
Yep, that's me.
Well met, sir. I'm called Asher, and my companions and I are a bit intrigued, to be honest, about the group of performers, and we're hoping we might greet them and see if perhaps, yes, we could find a gift for Kira's mother.
Oh, well, you can see him from here. Ain't no business of mine, but thought I heard y'all had already gotten out of town.
You know, we did do a bit of a jaunt to the north, to Purdyton, but we have returned.
And he shrugs and goes like, all right. Ain't no business of mine. I don't say nothing to nobody. Help yourself to whatever. I'll be here if you need me.
Oh, wait. It's crazy that this is here. This. How long have they been here? I assumed that all the shopping in town was all the shopping that was available. How long have you been hosting a caravan?
They've been camped out there a couple weeks. I mean, people come here that occasionally pass through town. I let them use my space on the cheap. I ain't using it.
normal for them to stay that long?
Now, some people stay one night, some people stay a while. It's no business of mine, as long as I make a little bit of silver off it.
So, are there like a bunch all over your land right now? Or did they all show up together? Are they like, God, I'm just not really familiar with this whole thing.
Donnie, this he counts on his fingers. How many? 6, 7 of them? It's just the one group.
How do you collect rent? Does someone come and drop it off, or do you go get it? Is the same person every time?
Nah, the one with the mustache, he gives me the money every few days. He's been good about it. Seems a good type.
Does he seem like the tchotchke having type? And also, I guess, do you know his name? Tchotchke guy? I bet it's tchotchke guy.
It's probably tchotchke guy. Call him, what do they call him? Matei. Matei's his name. I guess I don't know, he's the boss. He drove the wagon in, and he's the one that pays me, so I guess he's the boss.
I'm curious, have they performed at all here in Idenvade? Do you know what brings them to this part of Numeria?
Yeah, ain't none of my business. I mean, sometimes they do a little song and dance maybe at night to entertain themselves, but that's about it.
Just want to be like, is it a trustworthy mustache, like a trust stash, or is it an untrust stash, like the Snidely Whiplash? Like, does he come up and pay you your rent and then just twist his mustache and then giggle? I'm not asking.
Yeah, it's like
That's
a Simon
their leader, the guy in the
Sinister kind of
top hat and the half cape.
And do they mostly keep to themselves, or do they ever go out and explore the area? Ideally, we'd catch them all here, but we don't really know their habits, I suppose.
Nah, they come and go as they please. I don't. Sometimes they stay in all day. Sometimes they wander about the town, maybe outside the walls. I don't know. It's weird. You want to know so much about these people.
We're trying to find good quality tchotchkes, sir.
And how much music people play affects the quality of their tchotchkes.
Is that a serious question? Of what? Of course, yes.
I never heard
They
of
play
historically.
musical tchotchkes.
We heard they were performers, but we didn't hear what kind. You said they play music?
There's banging on things and strumming on things and dancing about. I don't know.
Do any of them use hands or finger cymbals? I've always liked watching people that use finger cymbals.
Give you a bit of a blank look. I don't know finger cymbals from finger thimbles. I don't know. Ain't none of my business.
I just like this very direct line of questioning that ends in, does any of them use finger cymbals? I like finger cymbals. Like, it is...
You know how I feel about finger
cut
cymbals.
to like a 5-minute scene of ASMR finger cymbals around Alwyn's head.
And again, the person asking him this is like this weird, like... Because he's got his cloak on, so he just looks like he has like aliens in a 1950s B movie head, just under this cloak. And he's got this weird like voice, and he's just asking, like, "Oh yeah, I like music."
Well, I certainly don't want to take up any more of your time. I admit we're rather excited by the newness of this experience, so kind of rambling a bit, asking a lot of questions, some oddly specific, others more general, and all in all, we're just looking forward to heading down there with your permission.
Yeah, none of my business. You want to head down there? No skin off of my nose, as the fella says.
No,
The fella in the
no
camp.
skin off
fella?
my wide feet.
Just, I mean, don't give them any trouble. They're good folks.
Even Evil Dave.
Evil Dave's
Especially-
got his own cross to bear, as that same fella says.
Are you and Evil Dave friends?
And passing acquaintance at most, I would say.
Yes, I hope Evil Dave's cross doesn't rub skin off his nose, as the man says.
Well, goodbye. Nailed it. I think we
We're
As you
nailing
walk
it.
off, he's grumbling to himself about strange outsiders as he picks up his hook thing and goes back to dragging wood across the yard.
How do
As
they all
one
know
does.
I'm an outsider?
Should we do the thing that you can do, Asher, to determine someone's inherent goodness?
Oh, I thought that was
Dance.
dancing.
Certainly.
No, this is the figure out who's evil
The
Dave.
evil dance?
Yes, of course, the alignment dance, as they call it. I'm amenable. I think it's appropriate to determine, apart from Dave, who might be evil among them. If any. I mean, hopefully none of them. Although, to be quite fair, there's a possibility that even a technically spy might be neutral.
It's true. Or that an evil person may not be the technically spy. I just think it shouldn't be definitive, but it might give us a little bit of insight.
Well, I'd have to be a good bit closer to do that, but I think it's fair enough.
Can we inch close enough for Asher to...
Just
Evil
cash,
dance?
get 60
Sorry,
feet away,
alignment
and then
dance?
do the, oh, just gotta stretch.
I think as you're closing in, probably somebody, one of the Varisians probably catches sight of you and maybe jogs over to the campsite casually, just as casual as can be, and lets Mute, that clearly the mustached man, know that you're there, and then Mate will kind of head over your direction. He's like a big, kind of burly, but maybe a little bit heavy set guy, with just the most epic mustache that sticks off. It's, sticks out beyond the edges of his face kind of thing. Just immaculately waxed, and he's wearing a scimitar on his hip, and he's got just sort of light armament on him, but a generally friendly kind of face. And he rubs his hands together as he starts walking towards all of you. Are you gonna cast the detect evil while being clearly observed?
Can we tell from this distance whether, what is it, Zach? You said a sustache?
Nice.
Is it?
And
Does it-
I was going to say an untrust stash, but a sus stash is even better.
So good. It's just as a move action, I concentrate on a person or an object.
Okay, so it's not like a spell equivalent.
no,
with,
somatic.
No,
components
I mean,
or
it is as the spell, but it just says, as a move action, concentrate on a single item or individual within 60 feet and determine if it is evil, learning the strength of its aura as if having studied it for 3 rounds. So I think I could just concentrate, try admire that mustache and then see if he detects as evil.
He doesn't detect as evil.
Excellent. So he's hiding it. Kill him.
I guess we keep approaching then? I don't
Yeah.
know if Asher communicates not evil or if there's any point in doing so.
He just
Well,
He
as
just
he
whispers
no
under
news
his
is good
breath,
news.
Trust Ash, trust Ash.
trust us.
As the man with the trust ash heads over, he'll sort of rub his hands together and then hold one out to shake, even though he's too far away to actually shake hands yet. But he's still approaching. He'll say, "Hello there. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Asher would take the proffered hand and shake it and say, "Good afternoon. We are also out-of-towners and had our curiosity piqued by your traveling band, and we're hoping to just sort of poke around in a friendly way, just kind of chat it up and say, hey, how's Numeria treating you? And also maybe, I know my friend Kira here was seeing if any of you had any hobbies of whittling or knitting or craft making. If you, on the side, were to sell any of those wares, we'd love to peruse them. I'm Asher."
He shakes your hand kind of while maybe looking like right into Asher's eyes to sort of try to get a sense of him. He says, I'm Matei, well met. And I think he's going to roll just like a little sense motive on Asher's. We're just checking in on the outsiders. Maybe his eyes narrow a little bit and says, I mean, what you see is what we got. There might be a couple of us might have some doodads or tchotchkes or whatchamacallits that might be willing to part with, but something tells me something else has brought you here. You all been in town for a few days now. Why show up today?
Fair. You're certainly an observant fellow, and I respect that. We had been in town for some time, but I've been rather occupied with various tasks that we were helping out old Aldrin Ashworth at High Home, and even the Elderman. Took a bit of a jaunt up to Purdyton, saved the world, etc. But now that we have some free time, before we departed Eidenvey, we certainly wanted to not miss out on this opportunity. See, I come from rather far away, the continent of Garand, and I've never had the opportunity to really experience this cultural phenomenon.
And I heard that you all play music, and I just love music. We couldn't leave without hearing it.
He says, oh, you did you? I'm not sure who gave you that impression. We haven't been doing any shows for anybody. It's just a little bit of a pastime some of the people get up to. And, as you all are talking, I think a couple of the Varisians are sort of starting to emerge from the wagons and come back from where they're been off doing their own thing, and are slowly kind of convening on the general area.
Do any of them look like they're carrying anything tchotchke adjacent?
I mean, there's definitely like a lot of accessories between a lot of them. They're fairly dressed in fairly bright colors and accessory laden, lots of jewelry on a couple of them at least, and no belts of tchotchkes or like trays of tchotchkes in immediate sight. But that you don't see anything about them that would preclude them from being the type of people who would have tchotchkes.
Nothing to say. These are definitely not tchotchke people.
No, you could see, without stretching your imagination too far, some of these people being enthusiastic about the tchotchke trade.
Mm.
So then as he's talking, I think Kira's standing, is like looking over his head at the people sort of convening, half listening, but will eventually, like, when he's done talking, just sort of wave, like, hi, we're visiting and seeing if you have tchotchkes and musical performances. And then look back down at Hedek and be like, it was, nope, not, Matai, that's it. It was our friend up the hill. He mentioned that you all did, sort of like internal performance things sometimes. And if you don't want us to see, that's okay. But if you have like a mini presentation version, that would be cool.
And like, we just have so much discretionary income. After all this adventuring, we're just like wild rich and looking to spend it.
This gold is literally burning a hole in my pocket.
The gold isn't cursed or anything. It doesn't eat pockets. They just heat it up for some reason.
Right, yeah, it won't burn you. It's just very hot.
No, I get it. It's not literal, right? It's a metaphor.
No.
Could you explain that concept to somebody else in our group right now? This is the first time in all of Numeria that I've run into somebody that I feel I could really succinctly explain. Analogy. It's... I'm sorry, Josh.
You were absent for that.
No, I was here. We can edit this out. I just turned my video off so that I didn't have to blow my nose on Skype.
Oh, come on. Oh, that's fair. We should be charging them. For...
Beyond the feet tier is the nose blow tier.
That's horrific. Although Beyond the Feet tier might be the name of my worst-selling autobiography.
Beyond the feet here. No.
I think you definitely get some attention from the assembled group, and by now there are 7 total people including Matei, 7 total people have sort of gathered around, and you definitely are seeing some looks of interest. There's 2 guys who are probably twins, but one of them looks sinister and the other one looks nice. And
Evil Dave.
there's
Does the sinister one have a goatee and the other one doesn't?
Yeah, they could be the same exact guy, except one of them has a goatee and maybe
an eye
a
patch.
little face tattoo.
Yeah.
An eye patch and a single teardrop tattoo. So, and the other one's wearing all white. And then there's looks like 3 women, 4 men. And Matei sort
Is
of
anyone
glances
wearing
back.
one half of a set of hand symbols? Or finger symbols, I mean. I keep saying hand.
I would say that's a pretty tough perception check if anybody wants to try it.
Holding it forlornly in a hand. Yeah, I would love to.
He's just got the one on the ring finger, not the one on the...
Do not have detect symbols at this level.
Ugh.
So
That's
I'm a poorly
nine,
built
which I
character,
don't
but I
realize is
did roll a
great.
17 for a 31 perception.
That's much better.
Wow.
Wow, detect symbolism. I would say with Brixbo's immaculate roll, you don't see any half sets of finger symbols. You do see that one of the women sort of has her hands hidden behind her back, and maybe she's shifting her weight from foot to foot a little bit more than the others, who seem to be more interested in the money that just got mentioned.
Brixby leans over to Asher and goes to whisper in his ear, to lift his hat up to whisper in his ear, and then realizes that's probably too familiar. Probably shouldn't do that, and just
That one.
So I'm really impressed that Brixby is able to lean over
The
into
disc.
Asher's
disc.
ear.
Well, he's floating
Oh,
on
the
a disc.
disc.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a game changer.
Welcome.
Brixby mechanically dedicated
A feet?
half of his feet to just being
Yeah,
the
that was
same
a
height
feat
as
to do
everyone
that. I
else.
forgot about that.
Yep.
Well spent indeed. Asher would
Beyond
casually
the feet tier.
spend a kind of move action, just kind of looking at everybody. Well, I don't know, Kira looks for tchotchkes or whatever, just to get a feel if any of them detect as evil, other than Dave.
Well, I think the overwhelming aura of evil coming off of Dave is kind of it's mucking
man.
everything up. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the chart here, and aligned creature 51 or higher, 51 hit dice or higher. That's evil Dave.
Yikes.
You are
Hate to see it.
paralyzed. By
Yeah, I try to detect as evil, and then
Feeble-minded.
I think Asher just implodes. And he's gone.
Yeah, Asher's brain just melts out of his ears at the sheer evil of evil
Too
Dave.
much evil.
I like the implication. 51 hit die. So, like, is he Asmodean?
Yeah. Oops. Hey, Rovagug.
Rovagug.
How'd you get out of there, rough beast?
Actually, it fits, because doesn't Asmodean have a twin brother that's a good guy? It all fits.
But I think scanning through the crowd, you definitely get a faint whiff of evil off Evil Dave, and maybe another faint evil aura.
Oh.
From anyone in particular, or just in general?
Perhaps from that nervous lady that was
Nervous
previously
Nancy.
mentioned.
Asher would just kind of look up to Mate and say, well, if it won't bother you at all and love to get to meet everybody, I certainly don't want to disrupt your time here. But if we would spare a few minutes, we know there's something special about your group. I just can't quite put my finger on it.
I think Mate is gonna say, I gotta say, y'all are making us a bit nervous here with this sudden interest, but, if you're looking to spend coin, we might be able to make a bit of a deal. As I said, my name's Mate. Young fellow over there is Sandor. The twins we got is Dave and Evil Dave. Don't mind Evil Dave, he's harmless. And then we got Alaris over there, and he points at the woman who has detected as evil. Deline is another woman, like on the outskirts, and Morella, my wife, who's like the oldest of the three women standing up near him.
Hi, I'm Kira. I'm looking for a tchotchke for my mom. I would love to discuss with each and every one of you in great detail while my friends look around.
Yes, I do apologize if we're making you nervous. Really, we mean you no harm. Asher will smile and just kind of throw a diplomacy out there. Just kind of make a group impression. Hobnob. All the PF2 feats, he probably has those.
I'll try to aid. It's all aid.
Halloween also smiles, and we get a -2 for that.
Actually, Alwyn aids with a 25.
Halloween stays remarkably still and quiet, but not in a creepy way.
Also, he's got his hood up. They can't see if he smiles.
Got an aid from Brixpo with a 17 for a 16.
Oh, wait, yeah, I do have. This is diplomacy? Nope, Kira does not aid.
So that brings us up to just under Alwyn's roll with a 24.
I think with the 24 and the general way the conversation's gone of you all offering to maybe buy some stuff that they've got kicking around or throw money around in general, I think Mate at least seems friendly and can sort of break up their defensive huddle a little bit, and everybody will sort of allow you into their fairly wide open space, and sort of show you around, like point out like which wagon is which, and show you like their fire pit they have set up and the little area they have for cooking things. It's a pretty modest camp.
Question, does each person have an individual wagon, or are there just like a couple that are shared?
There's just 2 wagons that they all are sharing.
So like one for him and his wife probably, and the other one for everybody else?
Maybe. It's unclear, what exactly the sleeping situation is, you can probably see that like they have bed rolls out for sleeping under the stars if the weather's nice enough.
I think, which one do we break into and look for the...
Thankfully we've got these wide open spaces, so plenty of room to make a big mistake.
Goodbye, Earl. But Brixby leans over again to Asher.
Sorry, I'm just kind of shy. They all travel together. Where are they from?
Yeah, Kira's tchotchke mission kind of gives us some pretense, at least. But, I mean, do we want to RP out the handshaking and helloing for the other 6 people? Sandor, Dave, Evil Dave, Alaris, Deline, and Morella.
Sky Metal.
Very fast note-taking.
Alwyn will actually take out, rummages around in his robes a little bit, and takes out a ornately carved bone flute, and just kind of begins to play it. That is a 17. Perform wind, and he's just gonna kind of stand off to the side playing that, like, just making music.
With the hood still up?
Space girl from Space Ipanema.
Did you say it?
As Alwyn's off on the side playing the girl from Space Ipanema on his bone flute.
So I was imagining the cantina theme at this point. Just...
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, and he's doing the head movements for it.
He doesn't like you.
Yeah, well,
I don't like you either.
But is an accomplished jizz wizard.
we'll call it a lively shopping remix. So Kira will go around and, I don't know, find anyone, not necessarily not Evil Dave, with a nice piece of jewelry. Someone ideally closest to a woman whose name begins with an L.
Alaris.
I am not a good, note taker. Just hover around that person, but be talking to someone else.
Yeah, I think since you did come in search of tchotchkes, that a few of the people will produce like little like they'll go in and find some stuff and maybe like bring out a little blanket to dump some like homemade crafts and stuff on to spread out for you to look and see, like, here's like a whittled goose, here's like a little bobble-headed baby that they picked up in Nirmathos, which is where bobble-headed babies are from. And maybe Morella comes out with a little shelf of Hummels, which are, of course, highly prized in Galarian, as they are here. I think you probably will notice as this is going on and people are being friendly and introducing themselves and stuff, Alaris is kind of edging away from the crowd, kind of just like slowly making her way away from the general din of things.
Brixby does a little elbow towards Asher, but also looks at Alwyn, considering Kira's off on their own, just a little face gesture.
I think still playing his music, he kind of, you can see him nod back to you under the hood, and he's going to kind of sway over, like trying not to look like he's following her, just like playing the flute and going that direction backwards.
I mean, like, what's the worst that could happen to Brixby if he just discs up to Alaris and is just like, do you like music with the one finger symbol or not?
Dude.
I feel like...
Perhaps you drop this. Like you drop the mic.
I feel like talk to her. Maybe hang on to the symbol and for a second.
I'd really love to play along with my friend. Do you have a matching pair?
Just keep doing that.
Actually, so Kira's sitting, like, with Morella, I guess, at the blanket. It's like, my mom really likes music just like my friend over there. Do you have any, like, handheld instruments? Small?
A pan flute, an ocarina.
Symbolic. Or one of those things.
Yeah, maybe like a little mandolin or a balalaika or something. I'm not sure what you're looking for.
Yeah, something like that. I'm looking like a percussion.
Like a castanet. We could perhaps fashion a castanet for you. There's plenty of wood lying around.
Oh, could you? Yeah, I would love one fashioned, or if you have anything lying around similar to a castanet, maybe.
Alaris might have a little set of finger symbols. I haven't seen her playing them in the past couple days, but she did have them.
Oh,
Perhaps
you should
she
call
already
her
sold
over
them.
here and make sure she didn't.
Alaris, dear. She'll stop edging away. Say, what is it? This young lady was interested in your finger symbols. Oh, I threw them away. I grew bored of them.
Oh, I'm sorry. You threw them away. When was that?
Oh,
Roughly.
ages and ages ago. I couldn't say.
Yeah.
Asher
Bummer.
would just kind of nod sagely and then say in Androphan, sorry to hear that.
And I think she's gonna pause for a second on hearing that, and then she clicks her heels together and she poofs out of existence, reappears about 100 feet away, and takes off running to the north.
Please
did
hold.
it!
Asher would begin giving chase because he can spend a grip point to increase his land speed to 50 feet, allowing him to do 100 feet around until he's out of grip points.
Oh man.
Fireball is 400 feet plus 40 per level. Just just sits there, waits for 2 rounds, and is like, all right, ooh, should we knit?
Feels like we should knit.
Hey, fun
right.
fact, Bone Shaker is at my current level 180 feet.
Hope you didn't bring your bones today.
I threw them out ages ago. I grew bored of them.
I grew bored.
I grew tired of them.
Who needs bones these days anyways? Oh no.
What does this character do?
Pulling out tokens for all of you so we can actually do initiative, and then I'm putting them on the wrong layer. Alright. So we're going to have to do this theater of the mind because we are going fast here. Fast and loose. Alright. So what does Brixby have for initiative?
Old Brixbean rolls a 3 for an 11.
11. How about Kira?
That is a 22.
That's pretty fast. How about Asher?
Also a 22, but I think Kira's bonus is higher. Asher's only a plus 5.
Also. But I don't know what happens then, but Jeff can go
You
because
two
Asher can
can
run
choose
fast.
who goes first.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
And how about Alwyn?
Alwyn got a 13 on the die for a 20.
You're all looking pretty speedy right now. Alaris only got a 9 initiative. She got a bad roll.
Oh, wow.
To start the night.
Trouble.
So, to set the stage, she just basically teleported to the front of, what's it called? To the front of the lumberyard and took off running down the street to the north. Asher just spent a grit point to run a solid 100 feet and basically cover the entire distance between the two of them, so Asher's pretty much caught up to her. Everyone else is about 100 feet away, and Asher's up first.
Okay. Asher is up first, and I think he's going to vamp, install, and not be prepared for this situation. Now, I'm trying to see... Scoot an unattended object. This is good content. Keep it all in. Asher will attempt to trip her.
Alright. And that feeling when you have to look at the actual scale of the town map to see how much ground you're covering in it. Alright. You can roll against her CMD.
Yeah, I don't have a sky medal for this, but I don't know if it would matter if she could. I don't know the I can't get a good knowledge engineering on her boots. ATM. That would be a 24.
With a 24, Alaris goes tumbling to the ground.
Yes. Whew. Well, that's a standoni. So I think for his move, he would just move to be in front of her, and can't use an action yet to try to do more than just use words and say, please don't try and run off. We'd really like to have a moment of your time.
Right? And that brings Kira up.
I think Kira's just going to double move. Does that get like 60 feet?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think with my armor and all that, it's going to be 60. Yep. Shout ahead to Asher. I'll be right there, just like, yeah, you're doing great, buddy. Yeah. I mean, I would try throwing Kingsley after her. But I don't. I mean, Kingsley's small. Kira's got a decent arm. But I don't want to lose my scorpion. So, that's me. Just a quick double move.
All right. See, Alwyn.
Alwyn is also just going to double move up.
What's your movement speed?
Minus 30.
All right. Well, Brix is going to look left, going to look right, and not see anybody that he can touch, and dimension door all the way up to where this person is down.
Oh, would he have said that?
No, because unfortunately I'm playing it because I'm really low in the initiative, so he wouldn't have shouted that out.
Because I was going to say, because I had something I wanted to do when I was closer to her, but I need to be within like 40 feet of her that I can cut her movement speed in half in case she tries to run again.
And, Brix hasn't cast this spell, so that's fair.
Yeah, so I guess he wouldn't tell any of us that, because he doesn't know if it's going to
So
work.
he'll also just double move to keep pace with Alwyn, but before he does, he turns back to Unsustash and goes,
Trust us, she's not one of you.
and then discs away.
And then today we learn that they are all technically spies,
They all run off.
and she is one of them.
So Brixby's pulled up even with Asher.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, with Alwyn. Because I moved
with
the double,
Alwyn.
so 60 on the disc.
Okay, so he...
I decided to not DD, because I would have taken the whole party with me, but it seems like kind of a waste to just bring me up.
All right. Well, on Alaris' turn, she's going to say, I don't know who you are, but you should have just left me alone. And she's going to roll to cast defensively. And she got it. So I do need a will save from Asher because she doesn't know that this is pointless.
Oof. 26, kind of a tweener.
Let me just look at this spell because I don't always cast this spell. So Asher is covered in golden sparkles of glitter and visibly outlined, but he is not blinded as he did pass the save. And then after that, she clicks her heels together and poofs 100 feet away.
But it's still prone.
Still on the ground. And let me just roll something real quick. Ooh, brutal.
I hope that's a D whatever number of rounds until she can use that thing again.
It was a bad roll for her, I'll tell you that much.
Damage she takes for using it.
Asher is up.
All right. Asher is... Yep, he's going to spend another grip point to be able to move a total of 100 feet. While he is running, he is going to charge mechanically and draw his +1 light hammer because your boy needs to threaten. And we'll go ahead and just swing it at her. This is fun. It's hammer time. Yeah, that's a 21.
That will hit.
I don't even have this on my sheet anymore. I think it's just a D4 for a light hammer. Oh, nope, there it is. Yeah, it's a D4. Because it's a +1, and my strength is a -1. This is a D4, baby.
Oh, it evens out.
Max 4 points of damage.
All right, you have hurt her.
I did not want to do that, but you won't stay put, please. We can talk about
All
this.
right, Kira.
So I think having seen that Asher tried to stop her and she didn't stop, and now Asher's attacking, like, oh, shoot, okay, sorry, and we'll go ahead into a rage, which level 8 includes haste, which I think should give her enough speed to catch up in just movement, and then I would love to try some sort of tackle option.
Yeah, so you actually can't quite get to her on a charge with haste.
Okay, I will double move again. Let's see. Does that give me 60 feet or no, 90 feet total or 120?
120 total, right?
I mean, I think that is how, yes.
Yeah, so that gets you up to 180 feet.
Okay. That's me.
All right. Alwyn.
Alwyn is going to turn next to him to Brixby and say, how strong do you think she looks?
Well, if you wait, I can get us closer and we can find out.
That might be better than what I had in mind. And he is then going to delay his turn.
All right.
All right.
That's me, Brixby. My turn. Next. Brixby is going to move action, pull out his rapier, and standard action, put his hand on Alwyn, speak a word, and they boof right onto the other side of Asher and poor Alaris, using Dimension Door, one of his new 4th level spells.
Fancy. And once we're right near them, I would like to take my turn that I delayed.
All right. You're back in initiative.
Okay. He is going to look at her, and you hear him say something like weird and whispery, and she needs to make me a will save.
Is it an enchantment?
It is, in fact, an enchantment. It is an enchantment, charm, emotion, mind affecting.
All right. Not a very good roll. We're looking at a 17.
That is one under what she needed to get, DC 18. She has just been hit with Haze of Dreams, and it is going to, if you fill an enemy's head with waking dreams, while in this strange dream state, the target moves at half its normal speed, which also affects its jumping distance. So she can only move half speed until this wears off, which is 1 round a level based on my caster level for this class. So that is 5 rounds. She can only move half speed.
All right. That is rough for her. All right, so she is... I'm going to just move some tokens around here. She is approximately flanked like that.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I don't see the tokens.
We're over on the side by
On
the
the right.
bottom. Bottom right corner.
Oh, yeah. No, that's about right. And she, like, transported from prone, right? That was her deal? Because she never said
Yeah, she is still prone.
Yeah, it seems like it happens instantly when she clicks her heels. She doesn't have to be standing or anything.
All right. That comes up to her turn, and she clearly looks confused and a bit panicked to now be surrounded. And she says to you, "You've all made a terrible mistake, and you'll live to regret it, but not for very long." Now roll to cast defensively once more. Oh no, I don't know if she got it. Oh, she did. She got it exactly. She winks out of existence. And then you don't know what she does. And Asher is up.
Asher will draw the auto grapnel as his standard action because he has to retrieve it from his pack, and then say, can one of you two do that sparkle magic? See if we can locate her? And that's his full turn.
All right. Kira, you're up. You're 20 feet away from the rest of the party, but the ostensible bad guy has disappeared.
Can I roll anything? I guess I can't see her. Is there anything that I can roll to see if I can sense which direction she might have gone? Percept anything?
I think you can roll perception against her stealth to figure out where she is, right?
It is a really high.
Yeah, notice it. Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
You could just attack the square that she was in and hope she's still there. She was prone, and she used her standard action. If she didn't click her heels, she might just be sitting there in that same spot.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to move over there in case...
Oh, I forgot
we
you're
need
not next to us, yeah.
someone else to not be there. But I also just only saw the icons. Was she moving toward where Kira was before she disappeared?
She was on the
She was
ground.
moving further away.
Okay.
She's
So-
only been like disappearing and reappearing.
Right. Okay, so my last move, I would wanted to like get in front of her with my 2 moves. Was I able to do that?
No, she was too far away.
Okay.
Because you only got to 180 feet and they were 200 feet, basically.
Oh, got it. Okay. Well, then, yeah, I'll move up again. And it may as well be a double move. I don't think I'm doing anything else with that.
Unless you wanted to do the single move and try and kick the ground or whatever, unarmed strike. In case she's still there.
That feels Kira appropriate. Kira runs up and it's just well just in case, and yeah, just a real quick ground punch at where she was.
All right. Roll to hit.
Hey, that's a 20.
All right. Natural or
Natural 20, yeah, not with unarmed strike.
well,
31.
roll to confirm and also roll concealment.
Confirm is 29, and then concealment is sadder.
Like
You gotta get over 50.
I haven't done it yet. 73.
All right. Well, the good news is that would be a confirmed crit probably, but you'll never know because you punch nothing.
Punched super hard though.
Yeah, you punch the ground and leave a really satisfying dent.
Like the
Okay,
whole
she's not
thing
there.
Just like craters out.
Okay, that's me. I'm caught up with the party. Can I move myself?
Yeah, you should be able to, right?
Well, yeah, I'll stand over here with Azure.
All right, Brixby.
Oh, this is rough because there is no way that I could glitter dust, which I have 1 prepared today, or group, and like run the risk of blinding somebody at the same time. Now, chances are I wouldn't blind everybody, and I could. Well, I mean, we don't know that she's 100 feet away. Like in my meta conception, she is invisible. Yeah. She cast invisibility on herself and then stood up, and then Kira failed on the high side of the concealment. So, like, I mean, Brixby would not. There's no way that he could speculate 100 feet away from here.
She could be in Starfall.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, I mean, Brixby's gonna delay until after Alwyn, and put us back in original order. So Brixby's gonna hold his turn until Alwyn goes.
All right, Alwyn.
You know what? He's just going to he's just going to say, everyone cover your eye. Actually, no, no, he's not going to do that. He wouldn't be that stupid. He's just also going to delay. He's going to say, I don't think she's here anymore.
Brixby's going to be that stupid. I'm going to be that stupid. Sorry, everybody. I'm casting glitter dust right on where we are. Right in between Asher and I. Brixby lets out a, sorry, but you're all strong. And he lets it go. Let's get will saves from everybody, starting with me.
Yeah, for all we know, she's got a swashbuckler level and could kip up as a Swiftie, and then she's somewhere within 30 feet.
But it's worth giving it a try. So I passed my own will save. I am not currently blinded. Jiro is not currently blinded. The DC is 17. Just so
Woo!
everyone knows.
Meets beats.
How you looking, Kira?
All good.
Good. All right.
Well, Alaris appears, still on the ground. Looks like she crawled 5 feet to the right after disappearing, and she is invisible but covered in sparkles. And you can see her.
Yay.
All right, that's my contribution. Ow.
It's just like wiping his
Yeah.
eyes.
And Alwyn, you are up.
Alwyn is going to say, I'm not a fan of you trying to get away over and over and over. And he is going to cast another spell that might be a little annoying for us to have to wait for it to be done, but should mess with her casting real nasty for her. So give me another will save.
She's been rolling very badly. Is it enchantment again?
It is an enchantment. It is a compulsion mind-affecting enchantment.
All right, that is an 18 this time.
Would that be meets beats for you or for me?
For them. So they
For the
they
saver.
succeed.
Okay, so she does save then, unfortunately. Ugh. That will be his turn. He'll kind of
Let-
go. I don't think it worked, and that's his turn.
Well, she is in a terrible spot here. So I think what she's going to do is click those boots one more time. Just roll. Let's see what we get here. One moment. All right. And she reappears only 10 feet away. So she just basically moved. I don't have enough space on the map because of where we put her, but she basically went diagonally 10 feet away, and then she stood up, and that's her whole turn.
Okay. Asher kind of winces as he pulls the trigger on the auto grapnel, since she is well within the 30-foot range. It is about to cable her in the worst possible hog tie.
This is just brutal.
Yeah, you know what? Should make it brutaler. Let's swift action smite evil to get a bonus on the to hit. Not for the damage, just the to hit, but
Or Alaris.
poor. We'll see.
Go through her eyes.
Her memoir is going to be just gut wrenching, and Asher will feel bad about it. Okay, gang, no problem. 17 on the dice. So, with the smitey do, we're in the 30s.
That's gonna hit.
Okay, so the good news is the tiny spurs have lanced out and anchored the spike in place. Can hold up to 500 pounds of
Ow.
weight. And
She actually weighs about 550.
hey, you know, she carries it really well.
She's made out of dark matter.
And we're looking at I think it's 16 points of damage. I haven't played this character in a year and a half. It's only 12.
Oh. Well, that's basically nothing. Alright, well, she didn't like that at all.
Fair.
She doesn't get moved this turn, or...
No, I can retract it later, but it's a slow firing, so it's the full round.
Alright, Kira, you are up. She is currently impaled on a hook shot.
Yikes, yeah. Well, Kira not wanting to add injury to insult, or, insult to injury, I guess, is the more accurate way. She's just going to jog over and reattempt to grapple now that they're close enough. Just the gentlest grapple. Like, I'm really sorry about the hook inside of you, but I do need to make sure that you can't run away or hurt my friends. Is that a CMB?
Sorry, what was she doing?
I'm going to grapple. I will take whatever, if she can. I assume she can opportunity attack with the hook in her side of her.
Yeah, it'll be a CMB. She doesn't actually have a weapon out.
Well, she
You all
can
are
punch me.
monsters.
It's actually not great, but with raging it might work out. You said, I roll CMB.
Yeah.
Yeah, 21 to grapple.
She is grappled with a hook in her.
Sorry. And a new level 8 thing. Let's see. Raging Grappler. I don't think it matters this round. Deal. Oh, I can't. I have the option to deal damage, but that's okay. I won't do that.
All right.
And then, the next part won't come around until she makes a check. So just, can you please stop trying to run away, please? Thank you. And that'll be my turn.
And Brixby, you're up.
You might not be trying to deal damage, but I am. And so Brixby rolls on the disc into the flank with the now grappled enemy and is going to roll to hit with that rapier. That is a dirty 20 versus their grappled AC.
So aggressive.
Yeah, that will hit.
All right, well, let's see what the old rapier does. Ah, shoot, that's 3 minus 1. Oh, wait, I have 46 of sneak attack at this level. I should probably roll that too, huh? Okay, so in addition to that 2, there's also a 19 level.
Wait, that actually might.
So that's 21 points of damage. With 2 6s, a 4, and a 3 off the die.
Beautiful.
She don't like that at all.
Sorry.
I'm not. And that's Brixby's turn.
And Alwyn is up.
What would be the roll to try? I know there is like a part of a grapple to like wrest an item out of somebody's hand, but what would be the roll to like try to pull her shoes off?
I don't think that's
Disarm
a roll.
combat maneuver.
Rolled.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
like I
that's-
know there's disarm. Would that be what it would be? Like
No,
combat? Like disarm
no,
combat?
definitely
No,
not.
I think an equipped item like that, I don't think that you...
Yeah, you can't take it off in combat.
Quick, Alwyn.
Well, I feel like
So
Sever
he's
her
just going to
ankles.
again attempt to cast the spell he attempted to cast last time. So give me another will save.
All right. Natural 20.
That's all he can do. You don't want to use a combat spell because I want to kill her.
On her turn, she's got a hook in her, she's being held by a giant half-orc, and she just got sneakily stabbed by a flying rat. So, she's gonna say, all right, I give. And I'm going to bed.
Good night,
Night,
Boots.
Sam.
Night, Sam.
Oh, and you too, Sam.
Good night, Sam.
Against the machine. Against the machine.
Pot Against the Machine is property of Network Against the Machine LLC, all rights reserved. Pathfinder and the Iron Gods Adventure Path are property of Paizo Publishing. See their website for more details. Theme Against the Machine was written and performed by our own Zach. See the show notes for additional music and sound licensing. If you enjoyed the show, we encourage you to leave us a review.
Forgotten how to start the show. Welcome back to...
That's it. Let's
That
go.
was it. You nailed it.
Got
Yeah.
our magic.
Yeah. It was like it was exactly a month and 10 days.
That's so much more time than no time.
Now I want to go watch The Jerk. I'll be back in like an hour 45.
We can cut that entire conversation. We got to fill like 10 more minutes of airtime. I gotta look that up now if you can yank a magic item off somebody.
I feel like the incredulity taking off the shoes is not needed. Like, Pathfinder has a rule for literally everything. Find out there's not one for pull-off shoes is not, it's not nothing.